Oopsies, there we go. There we go. My my mic did that thing where it disconnected and I was like, where is it? Where is it? I had to unplug it and replug it back in, but that's fine. Is it working now? Can you hear me? I see it moving, so I'm gonna assume yes. I hate when that happens because I'm like, because I always have my mic muted before stream, so sometimes I don't notice when it's a problem, and so I have to solve it. I have to solve it right then and there, and I'm like, God damn it, I've already switched over to the chatting screen. Why do they hate me? But sheesh, welcome back to another amazing live stream by yours truly. How are we? How are we? Today we are playing 428 Shibuya Scramble. And again, I want to apologize for being a little late. And by little, I mean an hour late, oopsies. But again, you can blame Matt for doing D&D today. We started part 1 of like this beach episode not too long ago. And today we were finishing it, and it's a beach episode. I wanted to stick around and have fun with that. So I also posted the picture that I made for it. My character didn't put on like a bathing suit or anything because, well, I mean, she's a moth. She's got fur. I wanted to put her in like one of those, like, you know, like people wear over like bikinis, like the beach cover-up thingies. I wanted to do one of those, but I did not want to think about how clothes worked. So I was like, you know what? She's going as per usual, all natural. But I posted it in the artwork channel if anybody wants to look at that. You know, just showing off the different little activities that she did throughout the day. For, like, most of which all for the first time, because if you don't know my Mothna lore, also, her name isn't actually Mothna. I just call her that because I think it's a funny name. Her name is just Luna, but, you know, Mothna is funnier. You know, she was, for all of the memories that she has, she was, you know, locked up in this place called the Foundation, which, you know, doing literal, like, torture experiments on her. So, like, a lot of things she's never done before, i.e. play beach games, go to the beach. So she was having a good time. She was having a good time. It was good. I had fun. That's always a great DM. Especially because I'm still new to D&D. When it comes to like fighting and stuff, I'm like, I don't know how to do the fighting stuff. Like, people are like, I'm throwing this combo, this combo, this combo. I'm like, I shoot at him? Where are you gonna shoot? Right there. I got a lot to learn still, but I had fun regardless. I saw a very elegante, actually. Thank you. I feel like I'm definitely, like, obviously it's not the best art you've probably ever seen, but I'm proud of it because it feels like I'm actually making improvements. You know what I mean? So that's nice. I think that's all I need to say. Just a little oopsie daisy sorry for being late. But we're here now and we're gonna do a little bit of 428 Shibuya Scramble. I don't know how long this stream is gonna be. I might do a little shorter. Well, it depends. It really depends. Let's stop yapping and wasting our time and switch over to the gamer screen. Let me pause the music, give desktop audio, get rid of this notification that's PMOing me, minimize Discord because I don't need that. Where's my where? There we go. Okay. Load game. All right, let me get in here. What is this bad ending screen that I'm looking at right now? Select bookmark. Is my controller already not working? Dude, it was just working. Why does this game hate me, brother? Bro. Wait, let me try again. If not, I might have to launch the game again. Ha 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 ha. Again. Ha 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 ha. Again. Return to title screen? Oh boy. Get me out of here. close the game. Exit. Quit game, yes. Hold on. Okay, let me hit play. Plug in my controller. Keep it flat on the desk. They hate me. They said anything that will go wrong can. And I'm like, well, alright, I guess so. Okay, let's load. Okay. Hello, partner time. I'm just looking at this while I'm doing other stuff. No worries. Nice to see a 428 stream when a follow-up to it started meeting. Wait, for real? Dude, that's kind of epic. I'm excited now. I didn't know about that. I didn't hear about that. No, but yeah, I really like 428 Shibuya Scramble. I never heard of it until I forget who recommended it to me. It might have been Black Blue. It was either Black Blue or my friend Ken. I can't remember. But I play a bunch of like Spike Chunsoft games, so it only made sense to play this one. Yeah, they did announce a sequel a couple months ago. Dude, they did that for us, you guys. I thought I mentioned it. You could have. Honestly, I don't remember. I believe you though. Okay. Let's see where we want to go. Why didn't I feel like I left a note for myself, but I don't know where that actually is. So let's go back into Osawa. Because do we want to do this jump first or this jump? Let's do this one. Where does this jump lead? Because I can't remember if I actually took any of the jumps or not. I don't know. Me too. All those detective and mystery dungeon games have shaped a major part of my gaming days. Literally, I feel like a lot of my games that I play are like mystery detective ones. I don't know. I just think it's fun. Like, am I stupid? Yes, but I still be trying to solve it anyways. We just finished playing like the Zero Escape trilogy recently. And when I say recently, I mean like a few days ago. He reloaded the page and saw that his earlier thread had gotten a reply. Oh yeah, I remember this. It was from Pretty Honey, a regular contributor to Osawa's threads. Guys, do we think that this is actually a girl or do we think it's secretly a man? Honestly, between our two memories, who knows what was actually said? Literally, no, literally Black Flu. Both of us just like smooth brains. Like, what are we saying? I'm opposed to the idea of Aya Kamiki expanding into America. She should be able to enjoy the success she's earned in Japan without having to struggle overseas. Aya's done so much for us. I'd like her to keep supporting Japan forever. People, when artists, you know, go different places. Like, what are you saying? The message was festooned with the sort of emoticons that a young girl might use. Pretty Honey claimed to be a 19-year-old female college student. Although the community was meant for Aya Kamiki fans 40 and over, the settings allowed anyone to post there. The only young woman among the members, however, was Pretty Honey. The thread continued. By the way, have you tried the Aya fortune teller yet? There's a link below. Fortune telling? Huh? Osawa stared. Should he ask whether Maria was safe? Listen, imagine you're like, I got this silly little fortune teller, like, link. What should I ask it? About my missing daughter? Like, get off of the internet, bro! Bro is literally, like, on Reddit right now, or, like, 4chan. And his daughters are missing. Literal parents of the year between him and his wife. Yo, Coco! Thank you so much for the raid. What is up, you guys? We're playing 428 Shibuya Scramble. As per usual, we're solving mysteries, all right? We would never leave any stone unturned. Y'all check out Coco. They're so nice. How are you guys? What were you guys up to today? Actually, I think we did this part already. I don't think this leads anywhere new. Oh my god, my controller. Oh no, I'm tapped out. Never mind. I was about to crash out. I was like, bro, my controller died again. But I actually wasn't even tapped in. Let me go here. Because I think we definitely didn't do this one. Because I wanted to get the bad end. Hello. What? Osawa was so startled that his voice caught in his throat. What are you talking about? The antiviral research was top secret. So how did some detective from Shibuya Precinct know about it? Dun dun dun. I was doing Resident Evil 5 and saw you playing the best game ever. Yeah. Dude, wait. Is Resident Evil 5 the one with Chris and Shiva? Is that one? If that's that one, I played it, but I can't remember. Sometimes I'm like, is that one or is that? Yes. Yeah. Me and my sis played that on here. Honestly, I need to make her go back so we can do like some achievement grinding. Where are you gonna what's the other? There's another Resident Evil that you can co-op, right? Is it Resident Evil 6? The one where Chris looks like a literal brick wall. Listen, my favorite part is when he does that one thing. Listen, I don't want to spoil it because I don't know where you are. 5 and 6 are co-op. Yes. Honestly, I prefer... Listen, because I'm a little bitch. Okay? I can't lie. I'm a little bitch. I get mad scared playing, like, Resident Evil 2 Remake. So, I don't even want to think about playing, like the RE4 Remake. I love the co-op ones because I can be, like, less scared. I'm playing with a friend and OMG, it's so really fun. No, literally. Sometimes the controls got me messed up, but I'm like, shoot him, help me. Listen, the co-op ones are so fun. Okay, we're hopping over. What do you mean, no? What? Let me in. Have we not played Kano yet? Wait, hold on. Let me get back to the time chart. Oh, we got kept out. We got gate kept. Okay, I see you. I see you. How about these other ones? What have I done with these? Okay, this one's to be continued. This is a keep out. This is a jump. This is a to be continued. And this... Okay, yeah. Why are we getting gate kept? Do I need to jump from here? No. You did that already. Who do I need to go? Actually, let me see this keep out. Let me see what they say here. Get out of here, controller. Or not controller, cursor. 5 and 6 are the ones with tank controls, right? It looks hard to play. I think I don't know about 6 because I haven't played it yet, but 5 is a little messy, yeah. But like, it's so more like an action movie than like super horror, except for when the zombies like to jump scare me. That is like mostly fine. Stanley drove along Inokashira Dori towards Hyrule, where the finish line for the ransom relay was located. His demeanor was cold and brooding, in sharp contrast with Kano's gung-ho readiness. He seemed lost in some deep and cheerless thought. Kuze's voice came over the wireless as the car came out onto Mejidori. We've identified the owner of the condominium. It's... Kano held his breath in anticipation. The name Kuze spoke caught him by surprise entirely. Oh, okay. OMG Kano and the American, bro. Stanley derogatory. I'm sus of him, bro, to be honest, but I feel like that's obvious. I feel like anybody would be sus. So where was my jump for this? Or is it jumping here? Or am I jumping too? Oh, wait, actually? Go back. Okay, it is this one. Oopsies. Okay, now we can go here. Let's jump. Okay. Yes. I think this game's single biggest flaw is when the dictionary terms lead to jumps in their descriptions. It's not red text at first, so it's cryptic and doesn't accommodate those who don't know the terminology well enough to just not use in-game glossary. Exactly, that's the thing. Like, I have gone into the habit of like clicking every thing, even if I know what it is, because I don't know what's gonna be inside of it. You know what I mean? And then when I come back after like a minute I'm not playing, I'm like, what was in here? Anyone who wears shades at all times is immediately sus. Real. Another viewer has hit the stream. Hi, Robin. How are you? Are you watching your Omegaverse drama? Still? I saw that. That's why it's fun to always look at the dictionary, because a lot of the time it's not actually definitions, it's just funny text. Yeah, it's just like random-ish. Okay. We've identified the owner. Okay, I just read that part. It's Momoru Tanaka. He's a colleague of Kenji Osawa. What? Kano squawked. This was an unexpected twist. I mean, it wasn't, because we were seeing Tanaka be sus before. And we also got that stuff from Osawa in his bad end. Kajiwara confirms that Tanaka left the Osawa residence at just after 1400 hours. No word on his movements since then. It's possible he headed to his private condo where the attaché case is slated to end up. Any officer who runs across Tanaka is to apprehend him on sight. Kuze cut the connection. This mastermind you've been chasing, Kano asked. Is it Tanaka? Stanley didn't reply. Fine, never mind. I just wish I could know if Tateno is safe. Still worried about that traitor, huh? So Stanley could ignore all of his questions, but still remember to make snide remarks. Talking about Tateno is the only thing that gets a reaction out of you, isn't it? Kano snorted. What makes you so certain he can't be... Oh, what makes you so certain he can't be a traitor? Tateno just isn't like that, I say as I've watched him nearly gun down Achi and, Maria. Hi, I'm not yet, but you will know when I start /thread. Let's go. Is Robin here? Oi. I don't see their messages. Yeah, I think Twitch is cucking you again. Black Blue, speak to me. You can't die on me now. I gotta look at the on-stream chat to see you. They're taking you away. No! That's not an answer, Stanley scoffed. Alright, I've watched the man work for years. I know him. Dude, you know what this is giving, y'all? Spoiler warning for Yakuza 4. So if you don't want to hear anything about Yakuza 4, plug your ears for like 10 seconds. 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, now I'm gonna say a spoiler. Bro, this is like when that guy, that rat police officer revealed himself, and he was like, it was me, Yosh, and I've been working on the force for 30 years, and I'm a rat. And it's like, man, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. Okay, now, spoiler stop. Lovely that they stick to the writing, not knowing information of other perspectives, even though the reader, will know them in advance. Yeah, I like that. Because, like, if you don't do that one first and you got here first somehow, you know, like, it'd be a surprise. Alright. Oh, never mind. I read that already. I know him. He has no reason to betray the Force. You've watched him work, huh? What about his private life, then? You know all about that, too? He hasn't had money trouble or anything like that? Kano felt his blood starting to boil. I don't care what you think, he said. I trust Detective Tateno. Trust him? On what basis? I don't need any basis to have faith in someone, Kano snapped. This is an uncomfortably close shot. I can see every pore. Without any basis, in fact, it's just plain sentimentality, Stanley said. There's no reason or logic to it. It's terrible, and there's no logic to it. A thin smile came to his face. Yeah, thin because... Never mind. Be they friends or family, you can never really know other people. The only person you can trust is yourself. Kano had no response for such an emotionless statement. He looked away. He and Stanley were just plain incompatible. The enemies to lovers goes crazy. It seems like no amount of talking would let them get through to one another. Never take anything at face value, Kano. You start trusting too much, you're basically as good as dead. Which is why I don't trust you, Stanley! I don't trust you! You're gonna leave me left for dead. Wait a minute. Say that again. That's why it's called Faith Stanley. By definition, there is no logic to it. Literally. I'm like, if you have no faith in anybody ever, you're just gonna be, like, sad and miserable all the time. You know? Kano just stared out the window. He needs to put in his earbuds and start listening to emo music while it starts raining. If I lay here, will you lie with me? Also, I don't know the actual words because it sounds like a different set of words, so I just go, and just bark at the world. I know it's for sure not the lyrics, but I just think it's funny, so I say it anyways. The Shibuya precinct came into view. Tanaka's condo wasn't much further now. Oh my god, guys. Oh, not the save. They were outside of Tanaka's condo now, and I'm sure nothing bad would ever happen. Over there, Stanley said, keeping his voice down. Across the street was one of the foreign syndicate members, walking briskly, the attaché case clutched at his side. I'm sorry, the music just kicked in out of nowhere and actually gave me a jump scare. I was just looking at the attaché case and I was like, dude, Resident Evil reference. I'm making the arrest. Kano, wait! Stanley exclaimed. Kano heard him loud and clear, but he had no intention of stopping. Kano! Kano, stop! He approached with the criminal at full speed, then leapt to tackle him around the waist. The two men fell to the pavement in a tangled heap. The collision sent the attaché case flying. I'm assuming we're gonna have to stop this from happening with, Osawa, maybe? Kano's eyes tracked the case for a moment too long. He was caught off guard when when the man threw a punch at him. Ow! The blow caught him right in the jaw, snapping his head back. For a moment, Kano saw stars. As he shook off the impact, the man sprang to his feet and sprinted away in the direction of Stanley's car. Stanley! Kano shouted. Grab him! Get the case! Get the case? Stanley headed for the attaché case while Kano went after the suspect. Suddenly, the fleeing man skidded to a stop. Several cars had pulled across the road ahead, and detectives were pouring out of them. His escape route cut off, the criminal resigned himself to capture. While Kano helped make the arrest, several of the other detectives broke into Tanaka's condo. So what's in the case? Stanley, meanwhile, was carefully inspecting the exterior of the attaché case. He'd already opened it. It was stuffed with bundles of blank notes. The 50 million yen ransom was back in police hands. This is a decoy, the American muttered under his breath. I wonder where... His words trailed off, but Kano had heard them. What did you expect? The detective demanded. Samples of that new drug in there? As usual, Stanley gave no reply. The look on his face, however, told Kano he'd been right on the mark. Funny how we keep tackling, like, American football players. No fancy gadgets to stun the bad guys or anything like that. I know, right? Like we don't have, like, a taser or, like, a stun gun or something like that. Like, all we have is, like, the pistol and then our body. Like, we're going 0 to 100. Like, we don't have, like, a baton or nothing. Yo, ghost computer dying, so here I am. Hi, Lorox, how are you? Kano turned to them, feeling a sudden surge of anxiety for Maria. What's the situation in there, he asked. They told him that they'd found no one in Tanaka's rooms, so the hostage's status remained unknown, and the main culprit had evaded capture. So the hostage's status remained... Oh, sorry, I read that already. This case hadn't been solved. In fact, it was still unfolding in the worst way conceivable. This is literally the longest case in human history, for real. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, I don't remember what time it is specifically, but it's like the fact that this has all been one day when it feels like I've been through several lifetimes, which technically I've been through several lives. I've seen all these people die. It's rough out here. It's rough out on the streets of Shibuya. Still, Stanley remained focused on the attaché case, pondering it with a thoughtful expression. Look, Kano told him, I'm going to request that I be returned to my normal duties. Maria still needs to be rescued, and I still need to find out what happened to Hitomi and Detective Tateno. For once, Stanley actually responded. Hitomi? Yes, that's it. It makes perfect sense that they'd have her carry it. Huh? What do you mean? This whole attaché case relay was a fake-out. Whoa, slow down, Kano said, wishing he could calm himself with his words. Explain what you're talking about? Stun guns are supposed to be your last resort. They can cause serious harm if not used properly. Fair enough. I mean, so can the gun, to be fair, though. I'm fine better now. That's good. This feels like the length of a real legal case because of how long it is, literally. And the worst part is, they don't even have the legal case yet, so that's gonna add, like, another length of the game. No, I'm playing. Had COVID this week. I don't know if I told you. You didn't tell me that, no. Oh my gosh. How are you feeling right now? Because I know, like, my friend, she's a nurse, right? So she's had COVID, like, 5 times, and that's not an exaggeration, unfortunately. So, I've seen what that can do. I hope you're doing better, as best as you can, anyways. I know that shit lingers. Somehow, the kidnappers made contact with Kenji Osawa, and got him to have Hitomi carry the drug, separate from the ransom. Wait. You're saying they had Hitomi bring them the drugs? Wait till they find out that Hitomi is the drug. And I'm playing. I think she does have... Well, she has it. She just changed, didn't she? Like, she and Maria changed, so who even knows if they have it still? Like, if it's a physical thing. Stanley nodded. The case handoffs were a sort of camouflage, a way for them to keep the police distracted from their real goal. Kano nodded. It had indeed felt like the case relay was a decoy, an attempt to buy time. If this syndicate were after something else entirely, that would explain why so many of their actions had appeared to make no sense. So, Kano asked, what sort of drug is this? Why would they go to such lengths to get their hands on it? It's an antiviral, Stanley replied after some hesitation. A way to cure people infected with a very particular virus. What virus are we talking about? It's called... I still don't know if this is supposed to be like UA, UA. It's called UA. Kind of never heard of it. Still, he can imagine the possibilities. Suppose this UA virus was something like the Ebola virus. Dude, Ebola mention! Y'all, were y'all alive and in school when like that like big Ebola thing was happening? Like probably like 15 years ago. I don't know. I actually don't know the amount of time it's been. I choose not to think about those things. I was dying for 3 days, still a bit of a headache, but it's fine. At least there's that. At least it's not too bad. Because I know some people, like, it's like weeks to months. Just need to fix my runny nose because this fucker just likes toying with me. Dude, there's one, if there's two things I hate, it's a stuffy nose or a runny nose. I hate both of them, especially a stuffy nose though. Funny enough, I randomly caught a cold yesterday too. I don't think it's COVID though. Thank God. I think it's Yua. I'll say it like that because I have no other idea. Discovered in Sudan in 1976, infection causes Ebola hemorrhagic fever, resulting in a high fever and massive bleeding throughout the body. At present, there is no vaccine to prevent infection, nor any drug to cure the disease after it manifests. Or perhaps HIV. Human immunodeficiency virus. HIV destroys the cells that are essentially for regulating cell-mediated immunity, considerably reducing immune response. This effect can cause an infection that would ordinarily be fought off easily, developing into serious illnesses. There are various treatments, but as of yet, nothing that will eradicate the virus completely. Even the all-too-familiar influenza. Open the window and influenza. An infectious disease caused by the influenza virus. Symptoms are similar to that of the common cold, but are much more severe, occasionally resulting in death. There are three main types of the virus, A, B, and C, with A and B causing the typical run of the illness in humans. Neuraminidase? I don't even know, I'm so sorry, y'all. Is recommended as an infective inhibitor, but this merely alleviates the symptoms and is not a complete cure. There are medicines that could treat all of those diseases, but nothing that could cure them completely. Any drug that could do that would be worth vast sums of money. Kano, do you have any means of getting in touch with Mr. Osawa? Yes, I know one of the detectives stationed at his home. Check in with him ASAP. Find out whether or not he gave the antiviral to Hitomi. Kano suppressed a scowl. It looked like he wasn't done assisting Stanley yet. He got out his cell phone and dialed up Kajiwara. Oh, this is the call that we get. Oh, cause so he's asking like, did you give it to her, like inject her with it? Which he did, I guess. I think he said. But he's like, did you give it to her physically? Like, does she have it on her person? Type shit. We Metal Gear soliding up in here. Bro, the amount of times I've seen Metal Gear stuff recently, I'm like, is this another game that I should play? I'm terrible at sneaking around. I'm currently playing through Hitman. But, like, we're making it through. So, which makes me think that I could possibly play Metal Gear. I'm like... I got through the first Hitman game. That's gotta mean something. Maybe I'm improving my sneaking abilities, my stealth. Kajiwara picked up promptly. Kano? What's going on? Could I speak with Mr. Osawa? I suppose that'll be alright. What for, though? There's something I need to confirm for, I need him to confirm for me. It's an emergency. Alright. Just make sure not to tell him anything about the investigation, sorry. Sure thing. On my little flip phone. After a while, a man's hoarse voice came over the line. Osawa speaking. Can I help you? This is Detective Kano from the Shibuya precinct. Time is critical, so I need to just cut to the chase here. Kano took a deep breath. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter, Hitomi? Osawa let out a gasp. Keep out! Okay, now I think we could go back to the other one. We need to stop himself from turning himself in. What? Osawa was so startled that his voice caught in his throat. What are you talking about? The antiviral research was top secret. So how did some detective from Shibuya Precinct know about it? Jump! Osawa, don't kill yourself. That's not what I meant. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter, Hitomi? Osawa let out a gasp. Whoa, what are you talking about? I'm the one asking questions here, Mr. Osawa. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? I'm not sure I understand the question. Osawa's voice trembled as he spoke. Kano was sure he hit the nail right on the head. I know what the syndicate is really after, Miss Osawa. It's the virus, it's you, it's Hitomi. What did he say before? I can't remember. Like on the call before. Oh no, another headache-inducing timeline graph thing type game. Yeah, but this one I think is like slightly easier to understand because it's like pretty straightforward compared to like VLR and Zero Time Dilemma. Sorry, I don't know why I said VLR and then said the whole name for Zero Time Dilemma. Virtue's last reward, Zero Escape. You think it's worse here? I guess it's difficult because, you know, sometimes you need to like change certain things. Like these all look like the same thing, right? But it's not. The jumping in this game is more confusing compared to VLR. See, I feel like Zero Time Dilemma was kind of confusing with its thing because I didn't know what stuff I needed to change. VLR, I thought was very straightforward because, like, you know exactly where you need to go to, like, change something because most of the time you just need to go and change, like, are you allying or are you betraying? Are you being a dick or not? Bro, VLR / derogatory every single time. Every single time I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice. I get people being a dick to me, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be a dick back. And then they're nice to me, and I'm like, I can't win. I'm just gonna go down the list here and we'll see what works. It's the virus. Osawa remains silent. Okay, so we can jump. I will jump, but after I go through this. Mr. Osawa? Is everything alright? The line went dead. Technically, that's incorrect, Stanley muttered. It's not the virus they're after. It's his daughter Hitomi who's carrying the antiviral. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to get all of the options. Can you stop sucking the fun out of everything? Stanley, derogatory again. Yeah, VLR was very simple. ZTD was a little more complicated, but the amount of choices was a lot less compared to this. That's true. There's a lot of choices in this game that, like I said, they look like they mean nothing, but for some reason, it's the thing that opens the route completely. It's like, brother. Dude, when I was finishing up, like, my 100% completion of ZTD, I was missing one singular quest like note thingy that you get from the escape rooms. Also, I feel like the escape rooms took a very big backseat in ZTD. But yeah, I was missing one single one, and it was just like on the floor, and I just like didn't look low enough when I was playing it originally. It was in that room where you use the big hammer to like rotate the walls. I didn't look at the card that literally just said like the red circle and to like hit or smack. I can't remember what it said. And I was like, bro, really? And then I didn't do one thing in the queue route that led me to unlock all the things. So I had to do that like real fast. And then I finished the game. And it was, I 100% included it and it wasn't that hard. That's the game I like. And in ZTD, your choices made direct impacts to the story, and here, your choice in one timeline could make wild butterfly effects somewhere else that you may never realize. That's true. Hello.
You want to squeeze? Because she did get it late, but is that good enough?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Also, for people who are like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? My drink, my Diet Dr. Kelp. No, I have like a little slushy drink. And it's like, is this solid enough? Because I put it back in the freezer when I get it, because obviously on the way from the Dunkin' Donuts to my house, it'd be melting. So I let it freeze up a little. But yeah, true. Yeah, I agree. The hardest thing about ZTD is making all the choices for the 1330 vote. Yeah, to be honest, I still don't know how I did that right. I think I just like started hitting buttons and seeing what happened. I love how you and your sister both said the kelp joke at the same time. Because we're hive-minded like that. Cookie?
Bird.
Thank you. We're playing Shibuya Scramble.
The Shibuya is scrambled.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love scrambled eggs.
Bro, if I had a nickel for every time I played a game in Shibuya, I'd have like 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that's happened 3 times.
There's a, oh, I forget. I think it's like Devil Hacker or something like that. It takes place in like one of the main places is Shibuya.
Dude, Shibuya's just that girl, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's like the electronic capital, like of Japan. Like Shibuya is the place you want to go.
Devil Survivors.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'll say somebody would have known.
Yeah, someone knows what I'm talking about.
I've never heard of that game before.
I think I have it. It's on the Nintendo DS.
Really?
Yeah, I think I have it. I'm pretty sure it's the DS. If not, it's the 3DS.
I've never heard of that game. How do you own it?
Me and my friends borrowed games. You know the usual, and I still have it.
Listen, where do you think 358 went, you son of a bitch?
I'm sorry.
I mean, now I'm gonna take that, what is it? Black or white? Or Black or White 2?
That 2, probably.
Now I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna erase your save, and I'm gonna play. And I'm playing.
No. I don't think I have anything valuable on that save. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you could trade it up anyways.
I could.
See ya. Why is Luna shaped like a marshmallow? Was that their favorite food before becoming a ghost? Me? Nah, you know, I just look like this. Teehee teehee. I'm stealing QM's form. Possessing the ghost, for real. That's the name of this little guy, by the way. Literally QM, which stands for question mark, because they actually have lore. My little OCs have lore. He doesn't remember his name, so his friend nicknamed him question mark, and he was like, that's long as fuck. Let's go QM instead to make him feel better. But yes, I haven't heard of that game, so I'll have to check it out. It's a Shin Megami Tensei game. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Say people who made Persona. Yeah. I know them. Listen, Hydra's the one who's like always playing those types of games. He be telling me stuff, and it be getting wild. Okay. Anyways, let me focus back on this. Sorry for people who were like, "Can you play the game?" My fault, shawties. Now it was clear why the criminals were after Hitomi. He saw an uneasy look on Stanley's face. Something on your mind? Kano asked. Stanley responded with a question of his own. If Hitomi was carrying the antiviral, how were the criminals planning on getting it from her? I don't know, man. What are you asking me for? Kano thought for a moment. And while I'm thinking, I'm also gonna be taking a drink of my water. Kano thought for a moment. Well, taking her by force at the Scramble post too high a risk, he said. There were nearly 100 detectives there, and they must have guessed there would be. I mean, why wouldn't... You're doing a, like a handoff. Obviously, the police are going to be there. That's why they devised the attaché case relay. They wanted to abduct Hitomi somewhere away from the Dragnet's notice. This was the plan that all the signs seemed to suggest. Tea. But still, he added, I wonder how they managed to lead her away from police protection. Hey, they didn't. Cut to Achi. A look of revelation crossed Stanley's face. All they needed to do was convince her to go of her own accord. But how? Kano asked. And then it came to him. He thought back to Hitomi's initial contact with Tariq Al-Karawan. Just before he'd taken the attaché case from her, the two had a brief conversation. It was possible Al-Karawan had given Hitomi some form of instructions then. You know, unless anything crazy happens, maybe this might be my thumbnail, I don't know. Guess we're back to tracking down Al-Karawan again, huh? Kano could tell from the look in Stanley's eyes that he was on the verge of saying something. Probably some remark about how Tateno had allowed Alcarawan to run free. Right now, Kano wasn't going to argue the point. After this case was resolved, he'd discover what Tateno's real motives were. And once he did, Stanley would eat his words. In the meantime, we can't just wander around looking without any leads, he said. Until we get more intel, let's see what we can do with the security cameras back at the precinct. Yeah. Archie, ... Imagine how wildly different this game would be if Archie didn't randomly happen to be there, right? I mean, the thing is, I'm pretty sure Hitomi would have, like, been kidnapped if he wasn't there. So in a way, he's helping and hindering at the same time. You know? I'm like, in a way, he's, like, saving her, because, like, she definitely would have gotten shot. Or, like, kidnapped. But, you know, you win some, you lose some, I guess. Okay. Numerous monitors shone down on the pair as they entered the Shibuya precinct surveillance room. Each showed an array of faces of individuals somewhere in Shibuya. Kano asked one of the operators to pull up Alcarawan's data on the screen. By selecting each of the faces on the monitors in turn, they could run comparisons to determine if anyone among them was Alcarawan. With, like, a wig. A blonde wig and a fake mustache. Pretty much everyone else has a reason to be in the story other than him. He's just like, you know, pretty girl. That's his reason. He's like, dude, pretty girl, can I help you? And you know, he's so real. He's so real for that. Achi is a canon event. Achi's story has been the most normal progression-wise, rather than Kano where you had to start with first, right? Like, Achi, he doesn't know what's going on. Like, everybody I feel like has, like, information on what's going on. Meanwhile, he's just, like, getting dragged along. He's like, I don't even know what's happening right now. One by one, the operator made his way through the faces. Assuming their target was still in Shibuya, there was a high likelihood they'd find him. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they did pick a devious-looking man to play him. Especially when he does, like, the smile. I'm like, don't grin at me like that, brother. But the minutes ticked past, and there was still no sign of him. Kano's tone grew more and more impatient as he directed the operator's search. Just calm down, Stanley said. He had a hand on Kano's shoulder. Dude. Yaoi moment? Wow. You keep wasting your energy when you don't need to. That's just how I do things, Kano replied. I'm energetic because I care. He pointed out another face to the operator. Well, you're setting yourself up for a short life. With a sigh, Stanley sank into a nearby chair. He said, you're gonna kill yourself, buddy. And Kano's like, good. I'd rather. My brother was like you. Dude, no way. You have family? The American spoke so quietly that his words were barely audible. Dude, do we get a hint of tragic backstory? Aww. No. None for us. 10 minutes later. Did we get a hit? A man clad in black appeared on one of the monitors. The operator lined up his cursor. Listen, if they had the florists like Kamurocho does, they would have had this, for real. The comparison check confirmed that it was Alcarawan. Yes! Kano is pumping his fist. He said, yippee! Yeah, his smile is super unnerving. I'm like, get away from me, I'm scared. I mean, like, the black trench coat, like, doesn't help his fact, or, like, his case. It appeared that their quarry was simply walking around town, calm and composed, probably because he doesn't give a single shit. Kano radioed in Al Karawan's location to Kuze. All units intercept the suspect on the double, Kuze ordered. Kano will provide guidance using the surveillance monitors. Bro, Stanley's straight up chilling back there. They saw Al Karawan stop in front of a cigarette vending machine. Was he waiting for someone? Sasayama reporting. I've got eyes on the mutt. Yo, Sasayama's my goat. Mutt, perpetrator. Hook, to put someone in handcuffs. Dipper, pickpocket. Wants, outstanding warrants. Hang paper, to write multiple citations. And other such traditional police jargon. Kano's partner had evidently been nearby. I'm making the arrest, he said. There was a note of courage in Sasayama's voice. He came into view on the monitor, walking casually. He's in the Tama outfit! No way! How does this fit him, but also... I don't know anything about mascot costumes. Do you think he's gonna be able to get out of that? The new bit is that he's gonna get stuck in it and people are gonna think he's Tama. I also can't stop calling Maria Tama. I'm like, bro, that's not Maria, bro. That's Tama, bro. Until she gets her memories back, that's not Maria. At some point, he ditched his anime nerd costume for a cat mascot suit. Oh no, Kano muttered. That getup's going to make Sasayama stand out like a sore thumb. Shoot, the mutt spotted me. I'm going in pursuit. Kano's like, should I crash out? Maria will always be Tama to me. Maria is Tama. Like, Maria Homestead? Nah, bro. Tama. Sasayama slipped out of the camera's view. Whoa. What gives? Let go of me. You're Mr. Yanagashita, right? Look, I'm sorry, but I really do need you to return that costume. The voices came in over the wireless. It sounded like Sasayama was caught up in an argument with someone. Sasayama! Kano shouted as he eyed the monitor. Kano, I need some help here! Requesting emergency backup. The line went dead before Sasayama could finish. Kano didn't have the faintest idea what was going on, but obviously his partner needed him. He rushed out of the precinct. God damn it, Sasayama. When he arrived on the scene, he saw Sasayama still in the catsuit, caught up in a scuffle with a man he'd never seen before. There was no sign of Al Karawan. Sasayama, what's going on? That's an excellent question, Sasayama replied. This guy just came at me out of nowhere. He sounded pretty riled up. Sir, I need you to return this costume. My boss was very insistent on that point. The man was pointing with exertion, shouting in Sasayama's face. Was he the owner of the suit? What's the deal with that thing, Sasayama? Kano asked. I bought it at a variety store on Center Guy. Figured it would be a perfect disguise. I didn't steal anything. Sir, I'm telling you, you need to give that back. And I'm telling you, I've got no idea what you're on about. Sasayama stamped his foot. I realize that you're not Mr. Yanagashita. That isn't the issue. I just need you to return the costume. Alright, sure, I'll give it to you. I just need a little longer, so let me go. I can't do that, sir. I need you to get out of that suit right now. Yeah, I get that, buddy, but no can do. It's like I told you before. The zipper on this thing's snagged. Kano watched as the argument descended further and further into absurdity. Meanwhile, Al Karawan was getting away. This was ridiculous. He turned to go in pursuit of the suspect. Kano, wait! Sasayama called out. Come on, help me out, man! Huh? Help me get this thing off! Now really isn't the time for this, Kano replied. I'm going after the suspect. Oh, I get it. You're gonna ditch me here so you can take all the credit for yourself. Whoa, what? I was this close to nabbing the guy. That arrest is mine to make, and you know it. It wasn't as though Kano couldn't empathize. If Sasayama hadn't been blindsided by this random stranger, he probably would have caught Al Karawan just fine. Alright then, Kano said. He reached for the zipper in the back of the catsuit. But as Sasayama had said, the metal fittings were snagged and refused to budge. Hurry up! I'm trying! There wasn't time to do this slowly and carefully. Kano yanked down the zipper hard. Stop! The stranger shrieked in alarm. Don't be so rough like that. But if I don't, I'll never. You mustn't! If you aren't careful, you'll cause a malfunction. Malfunction? What the hell is this guy talking about? Kano got an even firmer grip on the zipper and pulled again. The zipper's coming off, isn't it? Oh. Meow. He paused in surprise as Sasayama mewed. What? What? Again, Sasayama let out a little cry. Dude, I think I've seen this scene in a BL before. What? Except it didn't sound like Sasayama's voice at all. Guys? Sasayama said, there's something making a rumbling noise inside this thing. He sounded pretty alarmed. I'm sorry, this guy's got the most egregious, like... Anyways. Uh-oh. Crazy face. Said the other man. It has started. His face went pale. What are you talking about? Sasayama demanded. What started? The man hesitated, then seemed to come to a decision. Well, you see, this is no ordinary cat costume. Meaning what exactly? He's just out here saying shit. Oh my god. Our shop rented this unit out by mistake. Oh, I had no idea it was anything so horrifying. Not until the boss filled me in a little while ago. What's horrifying? You're not answering the question. The man's gaze grew hollow and distant. Cats, he said. For a moment, there was only silence. The hand to the mouth is crazy, by the way. Sometimes it's so hard to pick which one of these screen caps I want to use as my thumbnail, because sometimes there's just so many good ones. I'm like, this or this? For a moment, there was only silence. Then Sasayama spoke up nervously. Like, what about them? Well, yeah, it's a cat. This actually summons cats from another dimension into the suit. I know that already. No. You're not listening. This is a cat. Like I said, I already know it's a cat. Anyone can see that just from looking at it. No, not a cat. Cats! The musical? What the fuck? Costume as transmission system developed by Far East Costume Rental's high-tech department. Dude, is this a spring-lock suit? I'm about to get spring-locked in here. This is just a prototype and potentially dangerous, so do not lend it out under any circumstances, but it was accidentally rented by mistake. Costume as transmission system. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Isn't this just a... Don't you guys love this sound a lot? Didn't you want to hear it for like 20 minutes? The meowing started back up again. With each new mule, the sound got faster. Soon it sounded less like a cat and more like some mechanism that was worrying about... Oh my god, he's literally about to get spring-locked. He's literally about to get spring locked right now. Did he just blow up? There was a sudden, fierce, blinding flash. Space itself began to warp in a roughly 3-meter radius around Sasayama and his costume. A moment later, Kano and the others had vanished. Bad end. Listen, I think that was... Where did we end up? I don't know. Kano and Sasayama and the rental guy were sent into another dimension due to a malfunction in the cats. Detective Sasayama should probably never have put that cat suit on. He mentioned buying it at a variety shop on Center Guy. That's your lead here. Bad end. Where do I go for this? Okay. Let's go, let me go over here really fast. I guess we should pick Hitomi for this, so, like, we're at least set up. It's Hitomi. Osawa remains silent. Miss Osawa, is everything alright? The line went dead. Guess that answers that well enough, Kano said as he put away his phone. Now it was clear why the criminals were after Hitomi. He saw an uneasy look on Stanley's face. Something on your mind? Stanley responded with a question of his own. If Hitomi was carrying the antiviral, how were the criminals planning on getting it? Okay, that's the same for now. Let's go over here and see what Osawa's up to now. Or if it's the same. I guess it's the same. Is he still gonna go get arrested? What are you talking about? Osawa's bewildered. I'm the one asking the questions here, Miss Osawa. Did you give the antiviral drug to Hitomi? I'm not sure. I know what the syndicate is really after, Miss Osawa. He's crying and screaming. Osawa hung up. You got isekai'd into the cat's musical universe. That's my new headcanon. That's my new headcanon, bro. That is what I'm saying is true. Osawa staggered out of the living room. He needed to be alone. To his surprise, Kajiwara didn't try to stop him. Three times his normal dosage of stomach pills. Bro, don't be overdosing. That's bad. There was no water in the room, so he had to swallow them dry. Detective Kano's words echoed in his mind. I know what the syndicate is really after, Mr. Osawa. It's Hitomi. There was only one reason they could be after Hitomi. He broke out in a cold sweat as he began to understand what this kidnapping was really about. It had all started 6 days earlier. Dude, flashback. Sadly, you don't get isekai'd into the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon world, so you'll just have to suffer inside the Cats the Musical universe instead. Listen, the thing is, are we doing, like, Cats the stage musical, or are we doing Cats the movie the musical? Because one of those things has James Corden in it, and one of those things doesn't. The movie! No! No! Oh, the humanity. It was April 22nd. Osawa had just returned from the United States the day before. He was in the midst of some routine work at the General Research Lab when his cell phone rang. The LCD display showed an unlisted caller. With some hesitation, Osawa picked up. Hello? Is this Kenji Osawa? The caller was using a voice modulator. He actually kind of sounded like somebody I know. And I think his name is Zero. Wow! Actually, Kano and them get isekai'd into the Zero Escape verse. A type of device or software used to make one's voice sound different. Changing a voice to the point of making a voice print or tone analysis impossible presents a major challenge. To be able to do so in real time requires major financial and technological resources. I think that's really funny because now, like, anybody has like a voice modulator. I mean, I guess if they're, unless they're talking about like a good one, like an actual good one. Osawa raised an eyebrow. And who is this? Yes. La 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 la. Go and analyze Hitomi's blood. Her blood? If you don't, she's going to die. With that, the caller hung up. He's like, oh. With that, the caller hung up. There was an intensity behind this that made Osawa sure it wasn't just some prank call. Imagine this is a prank call. That'd be the most wild-ish. He had Hitomi come into the lab ASAP. He told Hitomi he wanted a sample of her blood for an experiment. She agreed, suspecting nothing. He placed some of the blood he'd drawn onto a glass slide, then added some fluorescein and a type of fluorescent dye. Okay. A yellow-green liquid, a type of fluorescent dye, chiefly used in preparing specimens for viewing under a fluorescent microscope. But it has other uses as well, such as a diagnostic reagent administered in eye exams. Oh yeah! I've seen that. Its highest volume use is on St. Patrick's Day, when massive amounts of fluorescein are used to dye the Chicago River green. Yes, I know that. A type of dye that causes the dyed substance to emit higher wavelength fluorescent light with when illuminated with a certain type of light. Certain other type of light. Such dyes can reveal fine details when used on specimens viewing through a fluorescent microscope. Placing the slide under a fluorescent microscope, he took a look. It can't be. Osawa could hardly believe his eyes. Wriggling under the microscope was the Grim Reaper sickle itself. There was no mistaking it. Hitomi was infected with the Yua virus. Trembling, Osawa hurried to his computer. He opened the Yua virus folder on his monitor. Within were images showing the stages of the virus's propagation. He double-clicked to magnify the first image. The Reaper's sickles were interlocked with one another. Ow! He clicked on the next image. First of all, who infected my child? After further propagation, the Yua virus looked less like a sickle and more like an insectoid larva. Next was the final image. Interlocked into a single mass, the Yua virus resembled a sinister, many-petaled sunflower. Is that what we're getting from this? It took a mere 12 hours for the pathogen to develop to this point and begin its hideous destruction of the human body. Hitomi's infection sample was still in the state shown in the first image. There was still a chance to save her. Osawa slumped back in his chair, huddling in on himself. He had no choice. There was only one way to save Hitomi. He would have to administer the nearly completed antiviral. Using the antiviral without official approval was a grievous violation of company policy. Acting against company rules and regulations, Okoshi Pharmaceutical prohibits leaking work-related information to outsiders. In the case of a major violation, not only can the violator be fired, but the company may also seek indemnities. Dang. Still, Osawa didn't have time to get the higher-ups to approve a clinical trial. He might be punished severely for it, but this was his only option. His daughter's life was at stake. But there was also another, even bigger hurdle in his way. The antiviral drug was stored in the deepest recesses of the biochemical research building. A high-intensity X-ray scanner was set up at the entrance to the storage area. This made it impossible for him to take research materials out. X-ray, a type of radiation, also referred to as a... I don't even know how to say this. With a shorter wavelength than UV light, but a longer wavelength than gamma rays. Because X-rays can penetrate many objects with little absorption or scattering, they can be used to create images of internal structure. Hospitals, for example, use X-ray technology to examine the insides of patients' bodies, while security personnel use it to scan luggage at airports and search for bombs. Well, if he couldn't get the antiviral out there, he'd just have to bring Hitomi in. Of course, a course of action quickly took shape in his mind. First, he needed to slip out of the general research building. He would then head to the biochemical research facility and show his ID card to the guard at the front gate. What? After passing through a lobby under a watchful gaze of several security cameras, he'd reach an elevator at the end of the hall that went directly to the storage section. This elevator required an ID card to scan to operate. T? It would take about 20 seconds to get down to the first basement level and arrive at the entrance to the storage area. Finding an excuse to get Hitomi that far ought to be doable. If the security guard got suspicious, Osawa could say it was for a top-secret hematology experiment, and the guard would probably believe him. The problem was what came after. And what came after? Getting into the storage area itself required fingerprint authentication for both Osawa and Tanaka. This meant he couldn't possibly get to the antiviral without Tanaka's cooperation. Desperate with uncertainty, Osawa called up Tanaka. He frantically explained the situation. Oh, he did it. He's the one who probably got her. Oh, this is T. This is T. This is T. This is my game theory right now. So right, like Tanaka and Hitomi are kind of like you know, they kind of sus. They kind of sus. You know what I mean? So he probably was never interested in her if she thought he was. And I'm assuming he, like, got close to her so he could, like, infect her with the UA virus, or the UA virus. That's what I'm assuming anyways. So that way he could get Osawa to do all of this. You know what I mean? I feel like that makes sense. I feel like I'm cooking right now. He frantically explained the situation. Understood, Tanaka replied. Thanks, man. We need to get her this drug as soon as possible. La 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 la. If the company finds out about this, we're screwed. You'll be held accountable for violation of corporate policy along with me. I guess filming a real secret laboratory would be too much for the team, so there's this 3D animation instead. You know, that makes sense. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't even think about it. They were probably like, bruh, I'm not... like, they already probably had to spend most of their budget for filming around Shibuya, you know what I mean? We need to get her the drug as soon as possible. Yeah. Are you sure you're okay with that? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, it's all going according to plan. Sneaky bitch. And here I thought, Tanaka, you loved me. You're doing this. What are you talking about? Hitomi's life is more important than some company policy. Yeah, that's what you would say. Tanaka spoke without hesitation. Osawa felt an immense surge of gratitude for his assistant. Until he finds out he's a rat. And he was the one who did it. I'm so convinced now. I'm so convinced. They can't convince me of anything else. And I have to say, I'm deeply moved by your determination, Tanaka added. Moved? Whatever for? He said, you're just the bee's knees, bro. You really are worried about Hitomi. Osawa's gratitude faded. Huh? What are you talking about? He's like, what? Of course I am. My apologies. It's just that putting your career on the line for something so personal is what? You think I don't love my daughters just because I never spend any time with them? Jeez. It's what? He's like, it's just not like you, sir. He's quite literally rage baiting right now. It's not like me? T, bro. T. No. Well, yes. I'm sorry. Now Tanaka's voice was colored with embarrassment. Just what sort of person do you think I am? It's not too late. Maybe your love for each other can overcome the grip of evil. Maybe he'll have a change of heart and he'll be like, wait, let me stop these people. Spoiler warning, like, you know who did. 3-letter name from Yakuza 0. So maybe it'll be like that. Like, you know, you were a piece of shit, but you did one good thing at the end. Osawa resisted the urge to ask the question out loud. He's like, TSPMO. Good night, LaRox. Thank you for stopping by. I'll go to sleep. Bro, I just tried to throw a napkin in the trash and I completely missed. A short time later, Osawa and Tanaka stood before the door to the secure storage area. Hold on, let me pick that up before I forget. Because it landed behind the trash can, and I know that I'm just gonna be like, la, loo. Okay, there we go. Whew. Give me this. I want this. Give me this. Okay, we got in. The security guard had let them in without the slightest suspicion. Osawa pressed his index finger to the fingerprint scanner first. Okay. Accepted. He realized he'd been holding his breath as his authorization finally went through. He was like, dude, this actually worked? Like, yeah, buddy, you worked there. It's gonna work. I'm assuming he just, like, imagined, like, 20 armed guards were just gonna, like, come down and just beat the shit out of him. Which, honestly, not the weirdest thing. Half a moment later, Tanaka touched his own finger to the scanner plate. Accepted. Caution, restricted area. Authorized personnel only beyond this point. I guess we're authorized personnel, huh? The lock released with an audible clang, and the heavy door opened. Osawa hurried to retrieve the antiviral. As he picked up a small vial, he had a sudden realization. They were finally going to use the drug in a human test. His fatherly wish to cure Hitomi was overlaid with an intense rush of curiosity, the researcher's drive for results. To discover the results. Guys, what do you think's gonna happen? I say as Hitomi is alive right now anyways. Hurry. I need to hurry. I need to administer the antiviral as soon as possible. Osawa could hardly fend off his excitement. Over the course of the next few hours following the injection, the Yua virus would be eradicated from Hitomi's body. There had been some fever and cramping as temporary side effects, but the DDS had done a spectacular job of stomping out the virus. Drug delivery system. Also known as smart drug delivery, the ability to target a specific region of the body with a specific drug has momentous implications for the future of medicine. DDS technology is currently being tested extensively around the world. There had been some oh, sorry, I read that already. I keep, like, remembering, like, when I get out of these things, I'm like, you've already read those. You've already read that sentence, relax. In saving his daughter's life, Osawa had proven the value of his research. If he had been asked which made him happier, he would have been hard-pressed to give an answer. Afterwards, he asked Hitomi where she could have become infected, but she had no idea. He explained the need for secrecy and strictly forbade her from telling anyone else what had happened. Now a week had passed since Osawa gave the drug to Hitomi. He'd been conducting checks and had discovered that the DDS had not broken down, but remained in Hitomi's bloodstream. Extracting a DDS was a simple matter, requiring just a small blood sample from around the nape of the neck. The DDS tends to linger in the nape of the neck because of the lymph nodes located there. These lymph nodes identify viruses that invade the body as foreign substances to be attacked, but they are not always able to overcome particularly powerful pathogens. In such cases, the virus propagates rapidly inside of them. Once the patient has been treated, the antiviral will seek out the virus and accumulate there as well. Okay. The DDS itself... Oh my gosh, y'all. I can't stop hiccuping. The DDS itself was simply the delivery system for the antiviral drug. Wait, hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna shut my door real fast. Okay, sorry, my dad had went into the kitchen and I was like, he turned on the light, which means he's probably gonna be out there for a little bit, and I didn't want it to get too noisy. Normally, right, okay, normally, when it's like fall, winter, I have my door closed, you know, to maximize the noise, like the no noise, because, you know, I live in a house with people. They're gonna make noise. You're gonna hear them. I try to minimize it as much as I can by, like, muting if they're yapping or, like, you know, shutting the door. But it was just summer, like, spring, summertime, y'all. I'm not playing. The door do not close because I'm not trying to sweat my balls off in here. You know what I mean? So, I mean, coming soon, I'm probably gonna be able to, like, shut my door. But yeah, during summer, I can't. I'm built like a heater. I can't do hot. Like, it's actually bad. Simply the delivery system for the antiviral drug. Residual amounts of the antiviral itself stayed behind within the cells. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I got scared for a moment. I was like, oh. The materials used to create the DDS must, as a matter of course, cause minimal to no harm to the human body. Ideally, rather than accumulate inside the body, DDS substances should be either digested or absorbed or excreted, because the antiviral must remain in the body for as long as the virus is active. However, a very careful balance must be struck between persistence and dissipation. Jeez. Using the DDS, it was possible to extract those minuscule amounts from cells in a blood sample. It might take considerable time, but a sufficiently detailed analysis could allow for the antiviral drug itself to be reconstructed. Osawa felt a chill as he contemplated the situation. The kidnappers had known how tough security was at the lab, so they'd come up with the idea of using a human vessel to get what they needed from within. By infecting Hitomi with a UA virus, they'd ensured she received the antiviral, that she'd have it in her blood. If Tanaka was working with the kidnappers, that explained why he'd been so cooperative about the fingerprint scanner. I need some of that. It'd be cool they have all year round, bro. Take it, please. Listen, I'd rather be cold than be hot. To be honest. Damn it! Osawa shouted. He clutched his head in his hands. Tanaka had been his partner and trusted confidant for years. Osawa refused to believe he'd been betrayed like this. The front door chime sounded. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara called out. It appears you have a visitor. Could you handle that? We'll jump this in a minute. Who could it possibly be now of all times? You deal with it. Osawa was in no state of mind to receive a guest. Alright, let's do the you deal with it. Because I'm assuming that's not what we're supposed to do. So, you know, if I'm going to get like a bad end or something. You deal with it. Osawa was in no state of mind to receive a guest. I can't do that, sir, Kajiwara said firmly. We can't let the kidnappers learn that there are detectives here. Then have I take care of it, Osawa told him. Kajiwara headed off. Right now, Osawa just wanted some time to think by himself. Was Tanaka really one of the kidnappers? But if he was after the antiviral, he'd had plenty of opportunity to get his hands on it when they gave it to Hitomi, hadn't he? Was that really what these people wanted, after all? The answers seemed to evade him at every turn. Unable to think of what else to do, he tried the internet fortune teller again. Bro, this is what depression looks like. He got the same, you're a very work-minded person result a second time. If you don't get over your indifference to the world might start to harbor quite a grudge. My indifference to the world around me, huh? For instance, his relationship... Oh, sorry. The truth was that even with his closest companions, even with Tanaka, for instance, his relationship had always been strictly a matter of business. He'd never really taken it upon himself to get to know Tanaka as a person. And that was pretty much the case for everyone he knew. He harbored no interest in other people. He had no concern for his fellow man. That had made itself abundantly clear when he'd receive a microscope as a birthday present way back in first grade. Even now, he still remembered the shock he'd felt when he looked through the lens for the first time. He'd discovered a new, almost infinite world hidden in the midst of one he'd always thought was too small. By comparison, the real world seemed bland and ugly. Wherever he looked, wherever he went, he had to contend with tendium. It hadn't taken him long to become more charmed by the world under his microscope than the one around him. It was like a calm, quiet little seaside, a beach where he could just sit and stare out at the waves. He wanted to stay immersed in that world, forever and ever. Before he knew it, he was an adult, and then a husband, and then a father. The people around him thought him an odd fellow, but he hadn't let that change the way he lived his life. Do 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 do. Hold on. Fortnite Battle Pass. God damn it, Pidgey. This is all his fault. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, there we go. There we go. And this, now, was the result. He hadn't been betrayed by Tanaka. He didn't know Tanaka well enough for that. Find a way to connect more deeply with the people around you and start living a better life before it's too late. Just do that, and you're sure to have a wonderful future ahead. Osawa picked up his cell phone and dialed Tanaka's number. I had tried calling him repeatedly and hadn't gotten through. It was doubtful that he'd pick up. Still, Osawa had to try. The phone rang several times. He listened grimly to the empty mechanical sound, preparing himself for disappointment. What is it? Tanaka's voice sounded coldly in Osawa's ear. The tension was electric. Ah! Let me in! Let me in! Ooh. See, the thing is now, do I see what the other answer gets me, or do I just let this ride for now and switch on over to my guest? Mr. Osawa, you have a visitor. Let's have a jump. Ah, here we go. He'd spotted a nameplate that read Osawa. Kenji Osawa, huh? The name nagged at him somehow. It had been in the back of his mind ever since he'd seen it in the phone book back at the cafe. Had he heard it someplace before? He walked up to the gate and pressed the button for the intercom. Even the little chime it made when pressed sounded elegant. Minorikawa waited, but there was no response. He looked at his watch. It was 2:30 now. His interview with Shinosuke Arai of the Wandering Angels was supposed to have started already. Still, he wanted to meet with the twins first if it was possible. Little does he know, they're literally kidnapped. Teehee. Let's try waiting a bit longer. He's had to wait a little bit longer. Just 5 more minutes. A woman's voice came through the intercom. Who is it? It's Minorikawa. Where would I know you from, Mr. Minorikawa? Oh, you know, here and there. I mean, there's only one Minorikawa, really. I don't have time for such nonsense. Please be on your way. I'm not going anywhere until I get an interview. Interview? Who are you with? The woman's tone changed now. Maybe Minorikawa could simply talk his way through this. This is a piece for 4-star general gossip. Oh, perfect. I've been wanting to talk to them. Was this one of the Miss Midoriyama winners? Or perhaps it was the girl's mother eager to boast about her daughter's achievement? I assume you're familiar with defamation of character. Oh, sorry. I assume you're familiar with defamation of character, the woman said. What are you talking about? Article 230 of the Penal Code of Japan defines it as any attack against a person's reputation or societal standing. It's a very serious crime. I know what it is, Minori said. What's your point? You had a bad feeling about this. Why discuss libel laws right before an interview? Oh, I'm not letting you get away with telling me you've forgotten. I wonder if you'll remember once I bring up charges. Her tone was calm and level, but laced with malice. You're talking nonsense, lady. Are you the mother? I've got business with your daughters. Put one of them on the line. Nonsense? The woman's wrath radiated from the intercom. It's your 4-star general gossip that specializes in nonsense. Her voice was so loud it was cracking. Detective, arrest this man. He's a criminal. Detective, huh? You don't really think I'd fall for that, do you, lady? Just who do you think I am? I'm Minoru Minorikawa. He crossed his arms and struck a defiant pose. Then the front door opened up and several men came trotting out. Sir, one of them said, we'd like to ask you a few questions. At the word sir, the man flashed his badge and Minorikawa turned to run on reflex. He hadn't thought she actually sent detectives after him. Just what the hell had Heaven Publishing done to her? Never mind, he needed to get out of here. He couldn't afford to get arrested right now. Oh my gosh. Now he's gonna get charged with resisting arrest. Out with it, you abducted that girl, didn't you? Detective, you keep asking me the same question over and over. And I'll keep on asking until you tell me the truth. Look, ask all you want, but I can't tell you what I don't know. And then let's go back to the beginning, shall we? Oh, cut the crap. I don't have time for your games. As a matter of fact, you have plenty of time, I can assure you that. The stubborn detective flashed him a grin. I could keep doing this for days if that's what it takes for you to confess. Listen, you just met the most stubborn man. I don't think he's gonna confess to shit. And so the interrogation went on for hours. In the end, once his innocence had been established, Minorikawa was finally released. He wrote a scathing indictment on his experience. The report shook up the system in a major way. But that's another story for another day. So low-key, this is the Heat 8 ending. Wrongly accused. Minorikawa was arrested for his crime he had nothing to do with. That woman he talked to must really, really hate 4-star general gossip. Clearly he had no hope of getting anywhere with her, but maybe there's someone more understanding who might answer the intercom instead. Blink, blink, blink. Blink, 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 blink. Okay. Let's go back to Osawa and then go here. And then go here. And I'll answer it this time. Alright. Alright. With a sigh, Osawa dragged himself to his feet. With a sigh, Osawa dragged himself to his feet. Alright, right. He stumbled warily back to the living room where the investigators were staring at the intercom monitor with concern. The intercom's hidden camera showed a man with an unsettling grin posed intimidatingly outside the front gate. What do you mean, intimidatingly? Okay, never mind. God damn it, Minoriko. He's like, I need you to tell me the facts. Leave me alone. Osawa didn't recognize him. Yes, who is it? He asked guardedly through the intercom. It's Minorikawa. Where might I know you from, Mr. Minorikawa? Nah, you know, here and there. I mean, there's only one Minorikawa, really. Are you playing games with me? I don't have time for that. Please just open up. There's no way I'm letting you in, Osawa said. But the nonsensical badgering continued. Look, just hold your horses. I'm here for an interview. You got that? An interview? That's right. It's a piece for 4-star general gossip. The name of the magazine brought up an unpleasant memory. That was the gossip rag that had run the article about his political marriage. Wait. This is for one of those kinds of articles? What do you mean? Those kinds of articles. I'm just looking for an interview. The man's tone was both high-handed and belligerent. Like hell you are. I'm not talking to anyone from the gossip. You're not the one I'm here to talk to. I want to interview your twin daughters. My daughters? I understand they won a shared prize for a beauty contest at Midoriyama Academy. If you wouldn't mind me interviewing them, Furious, Osawa cut off the intercom. There was no time to be indulging someone else's nonsense. Hey, what gives? The man was shouting so loud his voice carried past the gate through the front door. I'm begging out here on my hands and knees. He wasn't actually on his hands and knees, so I could see that clearly through the intercom monitor. If your daughters aren't home, can you at least tell me where I can get in touch with them? Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara said, frowning. This isn't a good time to have someone drawing attention to your home. Alright, I'll get rid of him. Teehee. Incredible. Osawa hurried out of the house, confronting Minorikawa through the front gate. The journalist had that tenacious look that immediately marked him as a member of the media. Give me your business card, Osawa said. I'll have them get in touch with you later. He took Minorikawa's card, then went right back inside. Back in his study, Osawa tossed Minorikawa's business card into the trash. He said, man, put. Unable to think of what else to do, he tried the internet fortune teller again. You got the same, you're a very work-minded person. Okay, is this gonna lead back to him calling, what's his name? Tanaka, sorry. I was like, what's his name again? I forgot. My indifference to the world around me, huh? The truth was that even with his closest companion, blah, 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 blah. And I always say that. Unfortunately. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Come on. I wish there was like a skip. Like, or like a faster skip. Like, Shawty, you know I'm not in this. You know I'm not in this. Please. 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 Call him. Call him. Tell him he's a bitch. Be like, you bitch. You bitch. Can you open the text log? Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, you are right. Can I go here? I can't like skip to the end though. And I'm assuming it's like it would be clocked in, but I kind of want to make sure it is. You know, we'll just let the stuff flash by for funsies, I guess. Tootie doo doo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A wonderful future ahead. I can't believe he said, fuck you. I don't like you no more. We're not pookies. Like, that's crazy. Maybe I just didn't do it right, though, to be fair. Because I pressed X to, like, go to that page, but I don't think that's how it works. Attention was electric. I'm assuming this is going to still result in a keep out. Keep out. Okay. I think I just need to go to this jump. Because I think the other jump was just to make sure you hit the, stay, don't go option, probably. Let's switch. Oh, never mind. Sorry. He said fuck me. Never mind. Never mind. Go to the grid. Go to the grid. We'll go... Oh, no, no. Actually, I do want to go here. I guess we'll go here. And jump this one. Skip through this shit. Let me try again. Yeah. I can't actually click these. Get out of here! We already know this. We've seen it like 3 times. Not him spamming the button. It's 2:30 now. Blah, 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 blah. Was already supposed to have started. He had to make a choice. Let's wait a little bit longer. He decided to wait a little bit longer, just 5 more minutes. Suddenly a man's voice came through the intercom. Blah, blah, blah. It sounded guarded. It's Minorikawa. Blah, 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 blah. Here and there. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Who are you gonna call? Psychic friend there. We have seen all this dialogue already, please. This discussion was getting them nowhere. Minorikawa decided he'd have to take the direct approach. Look, just hold your horses. I'm here for an interview. You dig? Interview? He'd taken the bait. Most folks could hardly resist the word interview. I mean, you haven't met him yet, because he's gonna be like, interview? Man! Shut the hell up. Uh-huh. One of those. The man sounded angry now. Blah, 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 blah. My daughters? No parent would deny their children a chance for word of their achievements to spread. He said bye. The intercom cut out before Minorikawa could finish. Hey, what gives? I'm begging out here on my hands and knees. He wasn't actually on his hands and knees, but whoever was on the other end couldn't see that. There's literally a camera right in front of your face, bro. He wasn't even using the intercom now. He was just shouting over the gate. A man stepped out of the front door. Give me your business card, he said. I'll have them get in touch with you later. This man had a somewhat stricken look on his face. This had to be Kenji Osawa then. Wait, hold on. Osawa? Now Minorikawa recognized him. This was Kenji Osawa. The preeminent virologist who worked for Okoshi Pharmaceutical. 4-star General Gossip had run a scandalous article on him in the past. Minorikawa remembered reading it. He held out his business card and Osawa snatched it from him. The virologist started to head back into his house. Please said that they get back to me, Mr. Osawa, Minorikawa shouted after him. And then he noticed something odd. It was the middle of the afternoon, but every window in the house had its curtains drawn. That, combined with Osawa's demeanor, set off alarm bells in Minorikawa's head. He knew he was on to something, but he couldn't linger at the Osawa residence any longer than he already had. He needed to get to that theater ASAP. He hurried back to the taxi and told Kimizuka to go. A few minutes later, the rear tires skidded sharply as the cab came to a stop beside a different curb. The trip from Shoto to the theater in Sakuragaoka had taken almost no time at all. Here we are, sir, Kimizuka announced. Wow, that was fast. Still, Minorikawa was at least 5 minutes behind schedule. He hoped he'd still be able to get that interview with Aorai. Alright, fuck me. Fuck me, then. Do I try to jump again? Because they stopped me from doing this jump, so maybe I have everything set up, hopefully? Can I go now? I can! Minorikawa got his wallet out of his jacket to pay the driver. Oh no, Kimizuka said, waving a hand. Don't worry about the fare. Huh? Why not? There's still plenty left over from what you paid me earlier, sir. That's what I meant by special fare. That's right, he paid Kimizuka a whole 10,000 yen for taking him to Endo Electronics earlier. But I mean, I'm not the sort of person to keep the change, as it were, Kimizuka said. Minorikawa felt a surge of pride at those words. You're my kind of guy, Mr. Kimizuka. A man on the job can always count on Hachiro Kimizuka's taxi. The driver grinned. Now go on, go. Thank you. I have a feeling we'll meet again. As Minorikawa entered the theater lobby, he saw a bunch of flower bouquets, patrons' gifts of appreciation. Among the names of the senders were celebrities he recognized. Oops, I meant to click that. The largest bouquets were sent by Koichi Nakamura of the secret society Chunsoft. The next largest came from Marutaro Ishihara from the government organization Joyart. Following that were those from actress Barako Rose, popular scenario writer Ibisu Iponmatsu, Tohoku, Buster's Bus Tours Co., bus guide Kimiko Amo, professional baseball player Masa Narikiyo, and ventriloquist Shinshin, ukulele player Hawaii Matsuda, online TV critic Genzo Akitsu, and so on. Evidently, the Wandering Angels were a pretty popular acting troupe. Oh, dude, episode 4. I don't remember what happened in the episode 3 one, but I know we read it. Novice actor Takuya Amo, despite his nervousness, gave a credible performance as Shido as the production got underway. But as the show continued, his inexperience became apparent. He went on stage for the big wire action scene, having forgotten to attach himself to the rigging. Tozuka was quick to act, rushing on stage to improvise in the improvised role of assassin with an Edo exit number 1, and fixing a rope to Amo's back during the confusion. Okay. People were setting out pamphlets and flyers out on the nearby table. There was a palpable tension in the air. The crew seemed skittish as they went about their work. He's late, someone shouted all of a sudden. It was a man over in one corner of the lobby, railing angrily to nobody in particular. Why the hell hasn't that journalist shown up for the interview? Looks like he'd been waiting on Minorikawa then. What's the deal pulling this while we're this busy? Guess that's Shinosuke Aorai. I've been busy myself, Minorikawa said, keeping his composure. Trust me, I know how it goes. Huh? Who the hell are you? I'm the guy you've been waiting for. Mr. Orai. The man glared at him. It's Orai, he said. Anyway, I'm Minorikawa. Sorry to keep you waiting. Though really a short wait is a small price to pay for the chance to be interviewed by me. Well, I hope you appreciate how valuable my time is now that you're taking it, snapped Aorai. Wow, someone sure has a high opinion of himself, Minorikawa replied. He marched up to Aorai. Damn right I do. I'm Shinosuke, or he's officially met his maker. These guys are definitely two sides of the same coin. Oh. Literally how it's spelled. Oh, alright. I'm gonna be like Minorikawa and pronounce it Orai. The theater man got right up in Minorikawa's face. The girls are fighting. Like anyone even cares. A jolt of tension sparked between the two of them. Are they about to kiss right now? Oh, around this time, there's a similar jolt of tension between two other people, Kenji Osawa and Mamoru Tanaka. Dude, the yaoi is writing itself. Minorikawa does have his head tilted like he's about to kiss him. Here, I always do this, but I run through the story that I'm in first, and then I switch to whatever the jump is. So we'll wait. We'll do this first. I beg your pardon, a woman interrupted, but Mr. Orai does have a schedule to keep. And who are you, Miss Tsukuzawa? I'm the producer. Well, listen, Sue. I'm in the middle of an interview here. Please don't interrupt. What? That's how you conduct an interview? That's right. This is how I roll. Look, whatever. Alright, growled. Let's just do this already. Fine by me. The two men sat down at opposite sides of the table in the lobby. But Tsukuzawa spoke up again. Mr. Orai, don't forget the meeting you have after this. Yeah, handle that, would you? Minorikawa let out a derisive snort. It's like you're holding court, he said. Do people actually hang around with you with that kind of attitude? You have no right to judge my acting troupe. Minorikawa straightened up in his chair, a mocking smile on his lips. Oh, so it's your acting troupe, huh? He asked, or said. Why not just play all the roles yourself? Heck, you could even be your own audience. How dare you? Alright, rose to his feet and made to leave, but Tsukuzawa herded him back down into his chair. Minorikawa continued as if he hadn't heard. Just what is it that you do anyway, he asked. Alright raised an incredulous eyebrow. You don't know? No, why should I? You came to an interview without knowing anything about who you were interviewing? Yep. That's it, get out! Orai roared and pointed angrily towards the exit. How dare an unmannered clod like you come in here and waste my time? Hey, who's being unmannered now? I came all the way here to hear your story, didn't I? Why don't you get out? Minorikawa pointed at the exit as well. Why the hell should I have to leave? Orai demanded. This is my house! Oops, I meant to go back. I didn't read that. Theater jargon for the theater itself, especially the main auditorium. Look, just get out, they both say, I'm assuming. This time they both yelled and pointed toward the exit in unison. Tsukuzawa quickly interposed herself between them, forcing a smile. Gentlemen, please calm down, she said, then turned to Minorikawa. You should be aware that Mr. Orai used to be a broadcast writer. Someone who writes for television or radio programs. A great show depends not only on the actor's performances, but on the skill of the broadcast writer. He's responsible for a lot of big hits. You don't need to mention that, Orai grumbled. Nonetheless, Tsukuzawa rattled off the names of several shows. Minorikawa did indeed recognize many of them. He murmured. So how come you're running a failing theater now? Failing? Orai went red in the face. I'm not wrong, am I? You are absolutely the rudest person I've ever met. What would a rank amateur like like yourself know about theater? Orai's face went dark with rage. But Minorikawa didn't back down. Listen, this has nothing to do with how well your theater is or isn't doing, he snapped. The television world wouldn't accept you. So in order to retain your pride as an entertainer, you started doing theater. Isn't that so? Don't act like you know anything. Don't act like you know the way. We're lost. I've staked my entire life on the theater. It seemed as if Orai might throw a punch at any moment. Sure, a city theater might seem small time compared to TV, but you get a lot more of a response from it. Response? Oh, now that sounds interesting. Darn right, Orai exclaimed. You could see it from up on stage. The audience, you can see their faces. There was a passion in Orai's voice now. You can really feel it. When the audience is enjoying themselves, you can feel that energy. You can't get that from doing television. Thinking back on it now, my time spent working on TV. Let's see, what's a good analogy? It's like being handed a towel that's already damp. No, that's not right. Okay, so a better analogy would be, without further preamble, Orai began talking about his tribulations back in his broadcast writer days. Minorikawa smiled inwardly. The interview ended promptly after 15 minutes, the time that had been promised. Both men emerged from it as if from a daze. Minorikawa found himself staring Orai in the face, shaking him by the hand. So, kind of story did I just get?" he asked, speaking half to himself. "You heard about one man and his life. And I have to admit, it was a good interview. Thanks. You have my gratitude." With a satisfied smile, Minorikawa closed his notebook. "Right. Glad to hear." Ah! Who's yowling at me? Belle. Hello. Stretch and posture check. And hydrate or dehydrate. Let me stretch, dude. I'm ready to stretch. Stretch with me. Gotta do those deep sides. There we go. Let me have my drink too. Hold on. There we go. Hello. How are you, Belle? How's life? I saw you was playing my rivals. I peeped that. Alright, inclined his head, looking a bit bewildered. A flustered Tsukuzawa interrupted. "Mr. Minorikawa, wasn't this interview for a piece about the performance?" "Huh?" Minorikawa blinked. "It's just that you were only asking about Mr. Orai and not about the performance itself," Tsukuzawa said. "Oh, I see what you mean. Actually, I came here for a piece I'm going to be writing called Where Are They Now? Washed Up Broadcast Writer Showcase." Washed up?! Orai was red in the face all over again. "You bastard, how dare you! Forget everything I just told you. I do not give you my permission to use it in your magazine. You're too late." "What? I've already heard your whole story. You should be grateful I'll be writing a piece on it." "You bastard." With a wild look in his eyes, Orai snatched up a hammer the stage crew had left nearby. "Go ahead and hit me." "Oh, I'll hit you all right." Orai waved the hammer menacingly. But the attack came to a sudden halt as a ringtone suddenly startled him out of his fury. "Hold on a moment," Minorikawa said brightly. "I have to take this." He whipped out his cell phone. "Hello, Minorikawa speaking." "This is Osawa." Wow, he'd called him back a lot sooner than Minorikawa had expected. "Have your daughters come home then?" "No. Actually, there's a favor I'd like to ask you." A favor? Minorikawa thought back to his visit to the Osawa residence. The drawn curtains, the stricken look on Osawa's face. Minorikawa's instincts had sensed something significant going on. Apparently, getting the full story wasn't going to come without some cost. A favor, huh? Is it something urgent? I'll pay whatever I have to. I just need you to look into something as quickly as possible. His voice had the telltale desperation of a man who'd been backed into a corner. "All right," Minorikawa said. "I can help you out for a little while." Osawa hurriedly explained what he was after. The request was a strange one. He wanted Minorikawa to look into a scandalous article that 4-star general gossip had run about him in the past. What makes this so important? I have to say... I mean, you're asking me to look into something without explaining anything. He eyed Orai, lurking nearby with obvious irritation. Minorikawa would need to calm down the erstwhile broadcast writer or else his interview really would be for naught. He decided to bluff both men at the same time. "Let me just say one thing," he said into the phone. He made sure he spoke loud and clear so that Orai would overhear. "I want to tell the world this story. No, I need to tell it. If I don't feel that way about something, no amount of money in the world will get me to write an article on it. That's my pride as a writer at work." Minorikawa could see Orai's aura of rage fading as he listened. The theater man looked surprised. Phew! Meanwhile, Osawa had decided to open up a bit. "All right," he said. "I can't share all the details, but..." "Okay." He's in a talkative mood now. "Good job, Minorikawa. See, this is gonna be fine." "The power balance of the entire world might be at stake here," Osawa continued, "and I mean that quite literally. I can tell you more after you're done investigating. Wait, was he serious? How could the world's balance of power hinge on looking into some alleged marital affair? It was so absurd that Minorikawa had to fight the urge to bust out laughing. A person would need to be out of his mind to believe a story like that. But Minorikawa wasn't the average person. And sometimes the truth was so ridiculous, it really was stranger than fiction. Yeah, he does need to learn when to shut up. But somehow, I don't think he'll ever learn because somehow it keeps working out for him. Like, he's out here causing problems on purpose and still getting out unscathed. Like, he's lived his entire life this way, it seems. I don't know how. Osawa wasn't lying. Minorikawa's instincts told him that much. He's like, I see. Sorry, I just blinded myself. I turned on, this flashlight just 'cause, like, I don't know. Like, I just put it in my hand so I was like, clicky, clicky, as you can hear. And then, like, I accidentally was holding it upright, so I just, like, blinded myself with the light. Average moment. Don't fidget with flashlights, guys. Minorikawa's instincts told him that much. Alright, he said. I'll check the editing department's notes from back then. Minorikawa felt his excitement building. Things were really getting interesting. For the moment, he nearly forgot Toyama and his troubles. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you know, it is what it is. When he ended the call, Orai approached him and extended his hand. Listen, your methods might be a little extreme, but I can tell you take pride in your work. Of course I do. Sorry for getting so worked up. I bet you'd write a fine article about me. So please, Mr. Minorikawa, let the world know about me and my half-lived life. Minorikawa took the offered hand and shook it. Leave it to me. Once I'm done with it, you won't be just some washed-up nobody anymore, Mr. Orai. It's Orai. Minorikawa grinned. I don't know, his bag reminds me of, like, the Pokemon ones. Like, the ones that they have in Pokemon. I can't tell you which game, because I don't remember. It's just one of them. It's like, because it, like, the little symbol, like, the little, like, decal kind of reminds me of, like, when they have, like, the Pokeball on, like, the side bags. You know what I mean? Minorikawa rushed out of the theater. He'd completed all the interviews that could be done before 4 o'clock. Now he had an hour left to write it all up and convince the folks from the loan company that gossip could stay afloat. Ugh. He let out a roar, psyching himself up for the final push. I think several games had bags like that. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're done with Minorikawa. I just have to go back to that jump point. Oh, no, we go back. Stop. Stop. Okay. Jump. Also, to be fair, up until now as well, like, Minorikawa basically had nothing to do with the story, like the main plot. But now he's getting roped in. Let's go. Okay, let's see. Sawa picked up his yeah. Okay, I just need him to pick up. We've already seen this. The phone rang several times. Blah 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 blah. He was being a dick. He said, "What do you want? We're not Pookies anymore. I'm actually a bad guy, and you know that." It's like, damn, man. What about that moment that we had literally in the bathroom on the toilet? Did that mean nothing to you? Did that mean nothing to you? What is it? Tanaka's voice sounded coldly in Osawa's ears. Ear. The tension was electric. Osawa felt a surge of outrage. He wanted to scream, but he took a deep breath and managed to control. Tanaka? Where are you? Is Maria alright? Tanaka did not reply. The police told me. They said you were connected to the kidnapping. A soft chuckle came from the other end of the line. Well, the police sure do know how to do their jobs. Tanaka's tone was unapologetic. He sounded nothing like the man Osawa thought he knew so well. Why would you do this? Money? Are you having money troubles? Money? Tanaka replied. I suppose that's part of it. Honestly, I doubt you'd understand. Do you have any idea what it's been like for me, doing our research together? You're always the one who takes center stage. The fruits of our success are all yours, even though you couldn't have done any of it without me. The more he said, the more vitriol seethed into his words. I'm pretty sure if Tanaka was just like, I think I should get more credit for this, I really think that Osawa wouldn't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't give a crap about fame, bro. He just wants to, like, do his silly little research. Yeah, but it's not a coincidence he's involved. He works for 4-star General, so he always is going to eventually try to... Yeah, that's true. Osawa's hand trembled as he clutched the phone. The taker can never understand how it feels to be taken from. You've hoarded so many things to yourself, so I'm taking some of them back. And with that, he hung up. Hey, Tanaka! Osawa dialed the number again, but Tanaka didn't pick up. Osawa racked his brain, thinking back on how Tanaka had been acting earlier that day. Had there been anything unusual? Any clue at all, no matter how small? If he could find some hint, maybe he'd be able to find Maria and Hitomi. That was it. I had been suspicious of Tanaka all along. So much that she'd planted a bug on him, hidden in a tie clip. Her suspicions must have been pretty strong. Wait. Osawa recalled what Kajiwara had said. But still, if she's that worried, giving a tie clip as a gift is a bit... The words had struck Osawa as odd when he first heard them. I had never given him a tie clip. His heart gave a heavy throb in his chest. It couldn't be. Affair! Affair! No. It was impossible. That article from 4-star General Gossip crept back into his mind. The article had talked about a man I had dated before she married Osawa. Yo. Damn, bro, if you really wanted her that bad, I didn't want her. I still don't want her. The man's identity was never revealed. Could it have been Tanaka? You've hoarded so many things yourself, so I'm taking some of them back. Tanaka's cold words took a new depth of meaning. Osawa felt the foundations of his life beginning to crumble. Were Tanaka and I accomplices in all of this? No. Wait. Just calm down. He couldn't let himself jump to conclusions. He needed to be more level-headed. Everything depended on it. If the two really were accomplices, why would I have planted a bug on Tanaka? What purpose would that serve? What could it mean? It was no use. Osawa couldn't think of how that made sense. First things first, he needed to establish what the relationship between I and Tanaka really was. Once he figured that out, he'd be able to get a better handle on the situation. Obviously, he couldn't just go and ask I directly. Makes sense, makes sense. It's like, hey, by the way, is y'all fucking... Dude, is he fucking my wife and my daughter? That's even crazier, to be honest. If she really was involved in all this, she certainly wouldn't tell him the truth. I mean, yeah, makes sense. So I thought back to the business card he tossed in the trash. He said, wait a minute. He didn't relish the thought of getting help from the scavenging hyena, but Now was no time to be picky. He said, my name is the Woker. If he wasn't able to leave the house, he needed somebody who could. Rah! He needed someone to do some investigating for him. He's like, listen. I need you to do this for me. I need you to do me a favor. The freelance writer, Minoru Minorikawa. He was Osawa's only hope. You're my only hope, dude. To be continued. Oh boy. Okay, I think we just need... what, one more? Yeah, this one. Oh, no, wait, that's not what I want. Ah, go back! Go back. Okay. What do I need to change this bad end? What did they say? What did this say again? Kano, Sasayama, and the rental guy were sent into another dimension due to a malfunction in the cats. Detective Sasayama should probably never have put that catsuit on. He mentioned buying it at a variety shop on Center Guy. That's your lead. I don't even remember seeing that store. Oh, wait. Isn't it this guy? But there's not really anything I could do there, is there? I don't know why it would be there. Okay, here we go. I was like, it was so long ago that I was like, when did this happen, bro? Alright, what should I do? I feel a little guilty about asking him. Alright, so I guess I'll deal with it myself. I felt a little guilty about having him go out of his way for me more than he has already. Maybe I should deal with it myself. He looks a bit disappointed when I tell him that. I buy the necklace for 30,000 yen and leave the knick-knack shop, hauling the costume with me. But as I walk along, I start regretting my decision. I can't find a good place to throw the cat outfit away. Finally, I spot a convenience store that looks like it'll do just fine. One of the employees is out front cleaning out the trash can. Several large garbage bags line the side of the road. Perfect. Maybe I can have him toss out the costume along with everything else. Excuse me. So I've got this little cat suit here. I figured it can't hurt to ask. Yeah, I know. The shop boy takes the costume for me. Taku Okado, 22-year-old getting by on part-time employment. Recently, after a number of employees quit in rapid succession, the owner hurriedly took on several new hires. But for some reason, instead of everyone chipping in on the cleaning, Okado always winds up stuck doing it. You're here to throw this thing out. I got it. He sounds wholly unsurprised. He accepts it so blithely, I actually feel bad. It's been like this all morning, he says. I don't even care anymore. Just throw away what you need to and be on your way, I guess. It's been like what all morning? I'm out here cleaning and people keep dumping trash on me. First it was this couple that up and threw a garbage bag at me. Achi Endo and Hitomi Osawa. The two have just run into a girl called Canon. After that, some homeless-looking guy came by, took all his clothes off, and left. Detective Yuji Sasayama from the Shibuya precinct. At the moment, Sasayama is searching for a costume for his next disguise. Like, just now, some chubby girl tossed out some empty cardboard boxes and a bunch of empty bottles. The man must have, that must have been Shiri. She was probably drinking the burning hammer while she was walking along. So, when you came by just now with this thing, I knew right away. Yep, this again. I'm sorry. It's alright. 3 times, 4 times, what's the difference? He flashes a bright smile, but it's clearly insincere. Then he looks at me more closely. Huh. Aren't you the girlfriend of that dude who threw the bag of garbage at me? What? Nope, not me. Huh, guess I'm misremembering then. Well, anyways, thanks for your help with this. I give the guy a bow. Oh, sorry, that was me. Well, thanks for your help with this, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Is that good enough? I think I should be good now. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go back here. This man is way too nice. I think he's, bro, he's just tired. He's like, oh, I don't care, dude. Just throw away the trash and leave me be. 10 minutes later. Meow, 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 meow. Let's try this. Alright. Confirm. It's confirmed. Yes! Kano hissed, pumping his fist. Dude, we're gonna get this guy. We're actually gonna get this guy. For real. Okay, Sasayama. You're gonna find him this time? Walking composed. He's gonna go to the cigarette machine. Intercept this bitch. Stopped at the cigarette vending machine. Was he waiting for someone? Sasayama reporting, I've got eyes on the mud. Kano's partner had been nearby, making the arrest. There was a note of courage in Sasayama's voice. He came into view on the monitor, walking casually. I wonder what outfit he is in now, considering he ditched his other one and now he's not Tama. What the fuck are you wearing? At some point, he ditched his anime nerd costume for a street dancer's getup. Right, okay. It didn't appear that Al-Karawan had noticed him yet. I mean, he's like plainly like speaking into his shirt collar. Bit by bit, Sasayama closed the distance. Is he actually gonna get him this time? Not much further now. Kano's hand balled into a fist as he watched. Then, something unexpected happened, as it always does, to be fair. Alright, what happened? Another man came running into view, right in the middle of the monitor. Teru Toyama. While searching for Hana at Shibuya Gaigo, he was located by a duo of debt collectors and fled the scene. Hana left Gaigo to find him and ran into him here in Maru Yamacho. The pair are heading towards Koendori, trying to find a place to hide. There was no sound, but they could see the newcomer was shouting something. As Al-Karawan turned to look at the man, Sasayama launched himself like a bullet from a gun. In an instant, the detective and perp were locked in a violent scuffle right there on the street. Dude, the girls are fighting. The girls are literally fighting right now. Kano swallowed a lump in his throat as he watched the struggle unfold. It's just Stanley in the background. He's just straight chilling back there. This is the guy that Majima learned street dancing style from in Yakuza 0. Bro, the way I was thinking the same thing, Black Blue. I need y'all to get out of my head, bro. You guys know me too well. I was thinking the same thing. LOL. Hive mind. The hive mind is real. Get back in here. No. Sorry, I was trying to I have this little bowl of like random stuff. My my clown earrings keep falling out, which like I know means I should move my clown earrings, but what will I do if I can't have my clown earrings readily in front of me to wear whenever I need to? Earlier in the day, Al-Karawan had done a number on Sasayama, but this time the detective had the upper hand. He got a grip on Al-Karawan's neck and kneed him repeatedly. Al-Karawan tried desperately to bring Sasayama to the ground, but Sasayama braced himself and avoided the takedown. Damn, so he's like goated with the sauce and shit? Then he shifted his stance and took Al-Karawan to the pavement with a spectacular hip throw. Oh my god. Yes! Kano clapped his hands together in excitement. Catching the perp in a scarf hold, Sasayama got out his handcuffs. A technique in judo involves wrapping an arm around the opponent's neck while performing an upper body pin. Stanley, we should head to the scene, Kano said. He looked away from the monitor for a mere moment. And then he looked back. Sasayama had released his hold and crumbled to the ground. What? Panicked, Kano stared at the image of his friend. There was something jutting out from Sasayama's abdomen. Zoom in! Kano cried frantically. The camera zoomed closer in on Sasayama. Like, you couldn't tell that was a knife, buddy? What? Now Kano could see exactly what he feared. Sasayama had been stabbed in the gut. Blood pooled on the pavement around him. Kano screamed, Sasayama! The camera showed several other detectives arriving at the scene, capturing Al Karawan before he could escape. But Sasayama lay motionless. The pool of blood around him spread further and further across the pavement. Unable to look any longer, Kano rushed from the surveillance room. No, not my Pookie. No. I can't believe... Well, now this man's dead. Like, if he dies, he's definitely at least going to prison. Because, like, baby, you just killed a police officer. What are we doing? Infection, this one's called. Clear the 1400 time block. 15, that's like 3, right? This is like 3 to 4. Sure. But unfortunately, that is where we're gonna end for today. We cleared this block. We're all set up and ready to start next time. I'm excited. I'm nervous. Let me, I want to look at the time chart real fast. So we're all here. This is where we all left off. It's about to get crazy, I feel like. It's about to get a little bit crazy and I'm excited. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. When did it start? I should have checked that before I backed out. What time did they start at? I can't even remember. But like, damn, bro. Talk about an all-day affair. It still makes me so mad with the Kano stuff that's like with his not father-in-law because, you know, he won't let him marry his daughter. Like, my thing with that is like he's working. It doesn't matter what he's working as, bro. Like, why do you want him to like leave his job and get fired, bro? TSPMO. Like, obviously I know he's doing it because he doesn't want him to be with his daughter, so he's like, well, any excuse to get this guy to fuck off. But still, you know, I'd be getting mad. I'd be getting mad regardless. I'm like, Kano, if I was you, I'd beat the shit out of that guy. But yeah, I'm gonna end it for today here because I started late and it's already 9:30. So you know, let me see how many achievements are left. Bruh. No matter how close we are to the end of the game, I only have 5 out of 27 achievements. Obviously, I'm not going to look at any... Oh, I just dropped my flashlight. I'm not going to look at any of the achievements, you know, until I finish the game. But if I only have 5 right now, that spells for a lot of backtracking for whenever I attempt to achievement grind this game. And that means we do, guys, over to the ending screen and give you some gamer beats. There we go. Let me see who's live right now. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna raid this person. I'm gonna raid this person. Stick around for the raid, you guys. Show some love to some other people. Next stream for me will be tomorrow with... What day is it right now? It's Sunday today? Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna play tomorrow. Well, I guess we'll decide then. We'll see. But I should be hopefully on time unless something else happens. Knock on some wood here. If you've not hit that follow button, make sure to do so. That'd be epic of you. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see ya. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.